Hey Irene, is now a good time? I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry that I had to take off early so suddenly. Was the rest of the meeting okay? Did everything go well? Oh, hey there, Sally. Yeah, I think the rest of the meeting went fine. If you're really curious, though, the notes are up on the shared drive. You might want to give this a quick look over earlier when you get to the office tomorrow. You really are the best, you know that. I really am so grateful for you taking that over for me. I mean, you basically did my work for me. Well, I get that life can be hectic and that sometimes you need to call on others for help. But anyways, I heard that you weren't feeling well. Is everything okay? Right, well, that was the excuse that I gave. I did tell people that I wasn't feeling good so I could leave. So then you're saying that you're not really sick at all? I'm sorry, why did you leave work then? Well, that's because I wanted to leave work early, of course. Wait, what? So you just lied to get out of work today? Are you kidding me? I know, it's bad, but I just had something important that I had to get done today. I didn't have any choice. I had to go. But I knew that having to explain all that to our boss was going to take forever, so I just pretended that I wasn't feeling all that great. I see. Well, did you take care of the business that you had to leave to attend to? Yes, I did. I actually just finished right now, so I'm all done. Well, that's good at least. Okay then, I guess I'll just see you at work tomorrow then. Oh wait, that's not all I had to say to you. I actually have something that I just have to tell you. You have something you have to tell me? Well, what is it? I have to tell you about what it was that I had to leave work to take care of. The truth is that I went to the city courthouse. Well, that makes sense, I guess. The best time to go get stuff done there is probably during the weekend while everyone's at work. That's right. And the thing is that the reason I had to go was because I had to sign papers to officiate my wedding. I wanted to get it all done so that they could be processed by tonight. I just couldn't wait any longer, and I really wanted to do this right now. Hold on a second. You were at the courthouse to sign wedding papers? Is that right? Exactly. The reason why I had to leave work early was so that I could get married. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that you were even engaged. This is amazing news. Congratulations. Is that what you wanted to tell me, that you had gotten married? Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. After all, I know that I've come to you with a lot of problems and things that I want to discuss, so I just wanted you to know this. I see. So I take it that you must have married that man that you're always talking to me about then, right? Yeah, he finally decided to propose to me, and I just couldn't wait, so I wanted to go to the courthouse and do our civil ceremony right away. Not only that, but it's also my man's birthday, so it was the perfect day to do this. Hold on a second. So you got married today, which is also your husband's birthday? Are you surprised? I knew that you would be. After all, your husband's birthday is today as well, right? Wow, you sure do have a head for some dates. I didn't even know that you knew anything about my husband. Well, it's not hard to know all that when my husband and your husband are the same person. Wait, what? I don't get it. What do you mean by that? You still haven't figured it out yet, have you? I'm telling you that the man I was always going to ask you advice about, the man who I am now married to, is none other than your husband. Wait, I'm still not following here. Seriously, what are you talking about? Let me put this simply for you. Your husband and I were having an affair behind your back. It's pretty funny when you think about it. But whenever I've talked about my boyfriend, the nights we've spent together, the trips we've gone on, everything was always about things I was doing with and to your husband. But now that you know the truth, I really just can't help but laugh. It really is so funny that it took me telling you for you to figure it out. You can't be serious, right? Are you really having an affair with my husband? I have said pretty much that in at least 3 different ways now. But you know, affair makes it sound so dirty. The truth is that Jerry and I love each other, and now I'm his wife. Wait a second. So you're telling me that you went to the court to get married today, and the man who signed those papers as your husband was my husband, Jerry? And that's exactly what I'm saying. Are you finally starting to put it all together now? But that can't be. I mean, Jerry and I aren't even divorced, unless you're also telling me... That's right, you've already been divorced, and you didn't even know. He did it 3 days ago. You mean that Jerry divorced me 3 days ago? But I don't remember ever signing or agreeing to anything at all. I don't get it. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. You see, your husband asked me to look at examples of your handwriting, and so I just forged your signature. And then Jerry and I went to the courthouse together to submit those papers. But that's illegal. Sally, you're admitting to a crime right now. You realize that, right? A crime? What are you talking about? I don't get how anything that helps two star-crossed lovers like us marry each other could ever be a crime. We were only doing what we had to do before we could get married, you see? I don't know what to say right now. Well, I certainly hope that you're not going to try and put up a fight about this. It's too late anyways. What's done is done. But, I mean, to think that Jerry would actually cheat on me with you? Well, he didn't cheat on you. He was only sleeping with his future wife before I became his wife. So I think you need to realize that he is all mine and no one wants you. You two are divorced now and you're nothing to him. So I want you to pack up your things so that you can leave your house and make room for me. I'm sorry, you're telling me to move out of my own house? Well, no duh. I know that you and Jerry live together in that huge place, right? That house has got to be at least $1 million. I told Jerry that I want to live there with him. I've already started packing my bags. The only thing that's left is for you to move out. And once I move in, I'm finally going to quit my job and become a housewife. Is that really your plan? You're going to quit just like that? Have you even told anyone from the office that's what you're doing? I was actually going to tell the people who needed to know after I finished talking with you. But I just needed to make sure that you knew this had all already happened and that there would be no point in fighting it. So after work, why don't you just go home, pack up your things, and get out of my husband's life? Anyways, Jerry and I have a little dinner date to celebrate our getting married. I've got to go now. Wait, what? You can't just say all of that and then just run off without any further explanation. That's crazy. Jerry, what in the world is going on right now, huh? Did you seriously divorce me and get married to another woman? You realize that we were still in the middle of working a lot of things out, weren't we?
Well, I figured that this was just the easier way to do things. Besides, I didn't think you'd go along with the divorce if I brought it up.
That's because I only found out that you were cheating on me a week ago. We were still in the middle of talking about what we were going to do. But I guess you already know what you wanted to do since you went and got us divorced. What in the world were you thinking doing that, huh?
Well, I thought that it was the only way I'd be able to marry Sally. Don't you get it? I mean, did you really think that I would choose staying with you when I have a young, pretty thing like Sally waiting for me instead? Why would I do that to myself? I tried explaining that I wanted to end things, but you just weren't having it.
You really have some nerve, do you know that?
Well, you can only blame yourself. I told you about how I wanted to marry a woman who was a housewife. You were the one who said that you wanted to keep working and you didn't want to be cooped up in the house.
And just how do you think we're supposed to pay off our mortgage with a single income? Don't you realize that we can't afford me to quit my job and stay at home? I mean, you certainly don't make enough to keep up with all the payments on different things that we have to make. Why would you just go and do this?
Oh, don't worry about the mortgage. I already paid it all off. That was around the time when I asked you if you wanted to quit your job and become a housewife instead.
You really think that that was the only reason we had to worry about money? I know how much of a big spender you are. There is just no way we could ever afford me to quit my job.
See, there you go again. Not listening to me. I'm telling you that you can quit your job and let me take care of you. And you're just shooting me down right away without even thinking about it. So like I said, you really have no one to blame but yourself for this one. How can I feel that you really love me when this is the way that you're acting?
What does any of this have to do with how I love you?
Well, if you really love me, then you just do whatever I said when I said it, right?
You can't be serious about that, right? Please tell me that that's supposed to be some kind of bad joke.
Yeah, you're just proving my point, you know? Anyways, it doesn't matter now, because we're divorced. And I have a new wife as of today, so I'm afraid that you can't stay at the house any longer. I want you to pack up your bags and leave, Irene.
Are you kidding me? You know that you can't just kick me out, right?
Well, I told you last week that I wanted to get a divorce. I told you I wanted to marry someone else.
I know exactly what you were doing. I know that you wanted to divorce me just so that you could marry this other woman. But we still had so much to talk about. We weren't through discussing alimony, lawsuits for the affair, how to split our assets, all of that stuff.
You already know who it is that I'm married to now, right?
That wasn't even on the list of things that I wanted to talk with you about.
Well, the point is that I put up the money for this house and I want to live with the person I love. I just don't need you anymore.
So you're telling me that you really love Sally? So much so that you're willing to just kick me to the curb like this? That's how badly you want to be living together with Sally?
Yeah, does the factor of divorce not tell you all that you need to know? Don't talk to me like we're married anymore.
Well, fine then. I guess since you both want this so bad, there's really no point in arguing anymore.
It's more than just a want for this. It's a need. Our hearts are tied to one another. That's why we can't live without each other. We're soulmates. Don't you get that? We're always going to end up together because that's what the universe wants for us. We're only following the universe's plans for us by getting rid of anything in our lives that might keep us apart. And that includes you. Now that I've met Sally, I know that there's nothing else I need. And with that, I say goodbye.
Wait, what? You're just going to quit talking to me just like that? We still have things that we need to discuss, Jerry. Hey, answer me right now. I'm serious. Hey there, Irene. I just wanted to say good work yesterday. I called the office yesterday and I found out that you also ended up taking some time off, didn't you? Don't tell me that you had to use some of your paid time off to pack up all your things just for me. You have got some nerve coming back to talk to me after you told me what you were doing with my husband. Well, I really am sorry that things had to end up the way they are. I'm sure that you're going through a lot of difficult emotions right now, but that better not slow you down while you're moving out. You are clearing out a space for me at Jerry's house, right? Have my bags already arrived there? Your bags? What are you talking about? Have you already started sending your stuff over? Haven't you heard? I'm going to be moving into that house from today. Jerry and I want to start living together as soon as possible. So that's why you need to keep packing up your things. Don't keep me waiting too long. Wait a second. You mean that you were going to move into this house from today? Well, of course I was. Once you move out, there's really no need to wait any longer, is there? That's why I thought you'd be done by now. Didn't I tell you that that house was my dream house? I've always wanted to live in a huge place like that, and being there with Jerry is just going to make it perfect. I see. Well, you know, even though I'm fond of the house, I don't think that Jerry wants to give it up. But the house is worth so much more than when we first bought it, you know? Well, I'm just so excited to be living in my dream house with my dream man, tending to my garden while he's at work and then making sure dinner's ready before he gets home. It's going to be simply amazing. But first, you have to move out of there so that I can move in. Just keep an eye out for my luggage when it gets there and bring it into the house for me. I don't need you to do anything else for me after that. You really think that you can just boss me around like this? You must really think that I'm going to just get up and leave. I don't really know what you think, because I already know what's going to happen. You and Jerry are divorced. You shouldn't be living together. You need to just get your things and go. That way I can finally be with my soulmate for the rest of my life. Right. Well, the only problem there is that I own this house. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Jerry told me about how he was the one paying for the house, so that means that it's his house, right? I don't know what else to say except that it's my name on the mortgage. But that can't be right. That's my dream house. You can't be the real owner. I'm not sure what you've heard about the house from Jerry, but the house has always belonged to me since we moved in there. You have to be lying to me. Jerry said that he was the one who paid the loan. Well, the loan is certainly paid off, but I was the one who paid it all. But that can't be right. It is. I paid for the house, the utilities, the insurance, everything. I can show you some of the bank statements I have that prove it all. Please tell me that this is some kind of bad joke or something. You know, if you don't believe me, then that's really on you, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I own the house. But Jerry told me that the house cost over $1 million, and if you paid for everything, then just where did you get that money from? Oh, come on, you don't really think that I could afford to have all that money lent to me with our salaries? I don't understand. How did you get all of that money in the first place then? How did you afford to get a loan large enough to cover all that? My dad took out the loan for me, if you must know. Wait a second. You mean you asked your dad for help? That's right. My dad owns his own business, so he has quite a bit of capital and has access to those kinds of loans. So I asked my dad if he could co-sign my loan, and in the end, he ended up accepting liability for about 4/5, while I took on 1/5 of the total amount. But then because my dad paid off the loan, I was basically just repaying my dad with no interest. So when I finished paying for the house, I really just finished paying my dad back. But then, doesn't that mean that the house would actually belong to your dad in that case? Well, my dad actually passed away last year, but before he did, he changed the name on the deed to me, and I inherited the land. But then, how did Jerry end up thinking that the house was his? You two started seeing each other about a year ago now, right? I think that Jerry was so obsessed with his little love affair that he didn't even bother to check about the process. He was always too busy lying about being busy with work to check that his name had been put on the deed as well. When my dad died, he told me to handle everything by myself, and so I did. So then, he didn't even make sure that his name was on the deed? That's right. So not only did I end up paying for the house, but I also have legally and properly inherited it. But then, if you're the real owner of the house, then that means that I won't be living there. No, it means neither you nor Jerry is going to be living here, since Jerry has no right to stay here now that we're divorced. So I suppose you two will just have to find somewhere else to live. But you can't do this to me. I already sent my bags over there. Right, well, when the delivery person comes, I'll just refuse to sign for the packages. Don't worry. But if you don't pick up all my things, then what's going to happen to them? Won't they get sent back to me or something? I don't know. Why don't you go call Jerry and ask him to figure it out for you? I have to go and call my lawyer to tell them that I'll be pressing charges for the affair you two were having. Although I guess since I imagine you've already canceled your lease and are all packed up, you probably don't have a place to live anymore. So I guess I should have my lawyer send his letter to your parents? You want to send the letter saying that you're suing me to my parents? Why on earth would you do that? Well, don't you think they should know about the crimes you committed? And I'm not just talking about the cheating, you also impersonated me by forging my signature. Oh, come on, you're not really upset about that, are you? I told Jerry that I would divorce him when we worked out all the details of how it would happen. Instead, you and him snuck around and ended our marriage out of convenience for yourselves. And if you think that I'm going to take that kind of identity theft lightly, then you're dead wrong. Anyways, I'll go ahead and tell my lawyer to forward those letters to your parents' house. After that, the delivery person with Sally's bag showed up. I followed through on what I said and refused to sign for them. I heard that Sally and Jerry had to spend 2 hours trying to collect their bags from the mailroom. I heard that Sally did end up moving back in with her parents, but when they found out what she had done and the trouble she was in, they kicked her out before a week had even passed. Now, Sally and Jerry lived together in a cramped apartment. They couldn't afford anything more since their jobs found out about what happened. They were both severely demoted. The day Jerry moved out of my house, I took some of my dad's favorite snacks and went to go visit his grave, where I told him all about what happened to me.
My lovely scrumptious honey pumpkin, Gary! Did you get off work? Let's make today the day we finally get on the train home together!
Kayla! Hey. Sorry, but I can't. I've already got an engagement with someone.
Oh, you do? But, you do want to get on the train home with me, right? Right? 'Cause, it's our,
What?
You don't happen to be a little bit forgetful, do you, Gary? Or are you a bit slow when it comes to romance?
Huh?
Or maybe you'd be embarrassed if everyone saw you leaving the office with me. Chill out and relax a little. It's fine. Hey, that reminds me. How come you never come over and speak to me at work? We have nothing to be ashamed of. I get that you might want to keep things hush from everyone at work, but you could at least come over and say hi every now and then. My delicious pudding pie.
What are you talking about?
It's hardly unusual for two coworkers who join the company at the same time to develop romantic feelings for each other and start dating.
Dating?
Yeah! It's our 2-week anniversary as a couple today, I guess it's not that uncommon for guys to forget about anniversaries, so don't worry about it, sweetie. I'm not mad at all.
No, really, what are you talking about?
I said it's cool, don't worry about it.
I don't mean it like that. You and I aren't dating.
Huh?
The heck? I have a wife and kids.
What? How cruel! Are you just using me like some cheap toy to be tossed aside?
No, don't be so ridiculous. I never asked you out, I have no romantic feelings for you, and I've never done or said anything to suggest I do. I'd already been married for a year when I joined the company.
Oh my god!
Besides, we barely even speak, and on the rare occasion we do, it's only ever about work or idle small talk. I don't know how you've managed to convince yourself we're a couple based on that. I'm fully devoted to my wife. We were childhood sweethearts who started dating back in high school. Would you please stop saying these weird things? It's making me super uncomfortable.
This can't be!
What you're doing here could cause a lot of trouble for me. Please refrain from talking to me about anything other than work from now on, okay? I'd appreciate if you stopped calling me things like scrumptious honey pumpkin and delicious pudding pie, too. You have no idea how creepy it is. My name is Gary.
Why are you doing this? Gary, my old flame, my once favorite dreamy sugar dumpling, I need to talk to you.
What is it? I've told you countless times to only talk to me about work-related things, and only when we're at the office. Why are you messaging me again? Would you please just cut it out already? Plus, I told you to stop it with the creepy nicknames. Just Gary is fine. Gary.
I don't think you'll be puffing your chest out like this for long. Wanna know why? Teehee. You see, because you're so stubborn and wouldn't be honest about your feelings, I had no choice but to go and find another boyfriend.
Cool.
By the way, we're really close already. What would you say if I said I thought he might be the one?
That's great. I hope you're happy together.
What? No, wait! You were supposed to start panicking!
Why?
Isn't it normal to be worried when another guy takes the girl you like? Aren't you gonna fight to win me back?
Nah,
What? Why?
I never had any romantic feelings for you in the first place. Are we done? Great.
Gary, this is bad. Real bad.
Sarah, what's wrong?
You're on errands out of the office now, right?
That's right. I'll be finishing up and heading back soon, though.
No, please, you can't. The manager told me to tell you not to come back to the office.
Why not?
Kayla's really gone and done it.
Kayla? What do you mean?
She got caught having a steamy romp with Steve, the manager from sales and marketing, in the stationery cupboard.
What? Isn't Steve married?
And this isn't even the worst of it. His wife must have found out about what was going on somehow, because she just stormed in the office yelling, "Where the hell is that trashy harlot Kayla Briggs?" The managing director currently is trying to calm her down with tea and biscuits in the waiting room on the 3rd floor.
So what about Steve and Kayla?
Steve immediately admitted wrongdoing, got on his hands and knees, and begged his wife for forgiveness in the hallway in front of half the company. The managing director ordered him to wait on the 4th floor meeting room, so that's where he is now. As for Kayla, she's currently barricading herself in the 2nd floor inventory management room. Judging from the sounds coming out of there, she's smashing things up in some kind of frenzied rampage. She even smashed one of our new products that was just about to be sent out for delivery, so I'd be surprised if she still had a job after this.
What a spectacular mess!
There is one more thing, Steve. She was yelling your name the whole time.
What?
I'm pretty sure everyone's got a good idea of what the situation is, so I don't think you need to worry. We all noticed a while back how she kept following you around and waiting for you after work to make advances at you. You reported her to the managing director several times too, right?
Yeah.
So, all things considered, since we couldn't discount the possibility the situation would deteriorate even further if you came back, he decided it would be best you didn't, at least while she's still around.
I see.
This whole thing must be causing you all kinds of trouble. I'm really sorry, Gary.
Sorry, I don't really know how to respond to all of this. But in any case, thanks for passing on the message. I appreciate it.
I'll be in touch as soon as there's any kind of development.
Got it. I'm really sorry for inconveniencing you guys.
Where was my knight in shining armor?
Huh?
Your girlfriend just got fired! I'm being charged $15,000 because I broke some stuff, and they said if I don't pay, they'll take me to court! And if you think that's bad, the marketing and sales manager's wife's demanding $25,000 in compensation from me! Why the hell didn't you come and help me? I needed you more than ever!
Because none of it's got anything to do with me.
What?
Use your brain, Kayla! None of this would have happened in the first place if not for your sordid tryst with Steve from sales in the stationery cupboard. He's a married man. No matter which way you look at it, treating me like I'm your boyfriend like some kind of stalker, getting yourself into a career-threatening situation, then demanding I come and get you out of it is not acceptable behavior!
How could you be so blind, Gary? The only reason I did this was to force you to be honest about your feelings. The reason I made love to a married man in the stationery cupboard is because I love you.
That's quite possibly the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
The fact you have a wife and kids is irrelevant. We don't choose the wanderings of our hearts. The world of love is a world of mystery. But you're so stubborn. I had to resort to extreme measures to force you to admit how you felt. And be honest about the fact that you're head over heels in love with me. That's why I had to find a new boyfriend.
What the hell? That's why you had an affair with the married sales manager?
That's right. Things might have not worked out exactly as I planned, and maybe I did lose my job over it. But surely at least now you realize how much you love me. Surely now you realize how important I am to you. Tell me you do, my sweet trickle muffin. Hurry up and admit you're crazy about me. Divorce your wife and let's be together forever. I'm unemployed now, so I'm ready to be your stay-at-home housewife. It's actually perfect timing when you think about it. I'll be the wife of your dreams. Let's build a household full of love and warmth together, my chocolate love bunny.
More like the wife of my nightmares! I feel like I'm in a horror movie! You're actually insane!
Huh?
I can't believe things got this out of hand as a result of your misunderstood delusions!
Misunderstand delusions? No, you're wrong.
It baffles me how you can say that with such confidence. There genuinely isn't a shred of self-doubt in you, is there? How many times have I told you now that I don't have romantic feelings for you? I've literally lost count!
Come on, Gary. I saw the way you looked at me. The very first work drinking party we all went to after me and you joined the company, the moment our eyes met across the table. I remember it all like it was yesterday. The fateful moment.
What?
The fateful, precious moment our eyes met. The overwhelming force of your amorous gaze. You pierced my heart with your love spear. I won't let you say you've forgotten. I won't.
What the hell? Ugh! Listen to me, lady. That drinking party you're talking about, I wasn't even there! My wife and son fell ill with something that day, so I ducked out of work early, which means I ended up having to pull out.
You're lying.
You either dreamed it, or this is a severe case of mistaken identity.
No, you're lying. That can't be true.
Why don't you try asking Steve, your new boyfriend? He should still have the chat logs from when I messaged him, saying I couldn't go because I had to take my wife and son to the docks.
I won't believe it. I won't.
Never contact me again!
Wait.
I'm blocking you! Kayla found her new boyfriend in the form of a married man for the most absurd reason imaginable. Apparently her objective was to make me feel jealous. But given I had no feelings for her in the first place, it was a fruitless endeavor, and she did nothing but cause hurt, upset, and inconvenience to many innocent people. On top of that, Steve from sales also got fired when the extent of the damage to the business his lover had caused with her spectacle became apparent. I heard that after he divorced his wife, he continued to be obsessed with Kayla. Eventually, they got married on the condition that he'd cover all of the compensation she owed, and he even convinced his parents to let them both move in with them in the family home. Rumor has it that Steve's parents are known in the neighborhood for being a little peculiar and idiosyncratic. To quote a coworker who lives nearby, "That girl's gonna have her work cut out living with that family. It's not a fate I'd wish on my worst enemy." A chill runs down my spine every time I think about the unfortunate future that awaits her. If only she didn't go making the mother of all misunderstandings.